So after the last video, I finished putting up the backdrop, and I don't think that I had anything in the area that you see right here done. In fact, I know I didn't. And this pole right here that I'm walking up to, um, it was about probably out as far as that straight edge, if not further. And I smoothed out this and angled it so that it gives just a bit more room here between this area where you're going to walk through. And eventually I will put a board across that, making a straight line across there. I just haven't done it yet. But I came down and got all the screw holes are filled with drywall mud, and the first coat of drywall mud and tape is on all the joints. So now all the joints are drywall taped and mudded, and everything's ready to dry now. I just did this, so it's going to have to dry a while, and I will come back and hit it with a little sanding and put a whiter coat of drywall mud on there, and I think it'll look pretty good because I really felt like it made a big difference just having the first coat and the tape on there. Looking at that versus looking at the gaps in there, and like that spot right there where you're looking, where I had to patch a couple weird pieces together, I was never satisfied with that. But I know the railroad's going to cover the bottom, and the valances are going to cover the top. You'll never notice it, I don't think. It'll just be backdrop. One thing I would say, if I was giving a tip to somebody else doing this, and other of you that have done it might agree with me, start in one spot and work from that spot, always lining up to that spot, moving across the room. Don't do what I did, and I worked from that corner down the wall around this curve to right there, and I stopped. And then I thought, well, because I was new at this, I went over here to that joint and I put that corner in, and then trying to keep the two halfway to the same level and using scraps, which was also a mistake. I would have just used a full piece in there. But you live and you learn. You know, you make mistakes, you learn from them. If I ever did this again, which I'm hoping I'm not going to do it again, I hope this is it for a while, I would use one piece there and I would work my way from one part of the room all the way around the room. And that's the method I took whenever I did this half. I started right here and worked my way around the room, and I didn't have any problems with weird pieces lining up. Here's my helper barking and making noise down there while I'm making a video. But anyway, I got the first coat up. I have some primer somewhere back here in the basement. When I get the second coat on and it dries, maybe this weekend I'll be able to prime it. And I bought a gallon of sky blue paint for a base coat to go on after the primer. Another thing that's going to be happening is the valance is going to have to go up here sometime on the ceiling, and the lights need moved. The lights were just kind of tacked up temporary, but the lights are going to get some rearranging. And I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paint the areas over the railroad white to help with reflection. I think it'll help. I don't know if it'll make a difference. Let me know before I do that in this comment if you guys think that it won't make a difference, that having black over the railroad up there with the light shining down won't hurt anything. Maybe it doesn't. I see a lot of guys painting the ceilings white over the railroad and then out in the room another color. I put this ceiling up just to stop dust and things from coming down onto this railroad. I thought it would help. So, you know, some of you guys that have gotten to the completed railroad, did you regret leaving a ceiling black, or did you paint it white? I don't know the answer. I think I'm going to paint it white though, where you will be over the railroad, and then the outside edges of the fascia and valances I am going to paint black. I want it to be where when you come in here, you just see railroad. You don't think about the ceilings, you don't think about the floors. Eventually I'll sweep this floor up and clean it and, you know, put some carpets down. And I'm hoping that, you know, you really focus on the railroad. You walk in and there's a bright, beautiful railroad cased in black, museum-like quality. That's what I'm looking for, is take your eyes off everything else and look at the artwork. So thanks for watching. Please like, please subscribe, and definitely leave your comments. Tell me what you think. Tell me if it was you and you were making this railroad, what would you do? Would you paint the ceiling white over the railroad, or would you leave it black like I have it? And I'm going to make valances and lower the lights down some and do some different things. And I've even thought about over here probably having another level, an L-shaped level that will come out over here and go around this top part, because I have a big Union Station to put in someday, and it's got to go somewhere. And there's already going to be some staging off in that back room straight through here behind these walls. It'll go around right back through there. You can't hardly see, it's dark in there. But I have room for staging to go back there and to park some trains on a staging shelf, and even run up a helix so it can come out on another shelf over there just for passenger trains to run the railroad and then work their way up to the station. Because I have a ton of passenger trains, and they're going to need their Union Station. So, like I said, I'm rambling. Have a good day. I'm glad you're watching, and I hope you stick with me. This is going to be a great ride.